So, this. Yes! Well, time to sculpt like the unapologetic geek I am. Gonna need a few things first. Okay, let's make Hornet. To get a head, just make a head. Revolutionary, I know. Start by roughing out the basic shape and carving in a line of symmetry to keep everything even. Then smooth it out by gently caressing her cheeks. Next, slather her horns in thick, white, liquid clay. This acts like a glue since polymer clay sticks to wire about as well as cats stick to bars. Flip to the back and make sure it doesn't look like a crime scene. Then keep adding clay and smoothing it out until it vaguely resembles a bent croissant. Now, instead of carving out the eyes like a reasonable person, I'm going to make Hornet temporarily ugly by adding eyebrows to a face that shouldn't have any. One magical time skip later, and the eyes are done. We're just doing some final smoothing. And by final smoothing, I mean not final, because there is so much sanding in this piece, I started to feel like Anakin.
I don't like sand.
After finishing the head, I yeeted it aside and started on her needle sword. It's basically making a long triangle on some wire. By sculpting it on a piece of MDF wood, it makes it easy to pop off after baking. I can do one side, bake it, then flip, and repeat. By adding some extra clay on after baking, I can fill any potholes in before sanding it. Again, it's a running theme in this piece. After a quick check of her body, which, spoiler, is almost entirely hidden in the end by her dress, I can start on said dress. I use foil to lay down a base structure and then slap on a layer of clay. Building up the folds with fat rolls of clay really helps to exaggerate the flowing movement of the fabric. To make the fabric thin, I trim down the edges and immediately cut myself. It is inevitable. At least I can't hurt myself with a file. Probably. I mean, let's face it, if I could, I probably would have done so by now. Cue several grits of sandpaper later, and the body is finally done. Only for me to spend 10 minutes fiddling around to get the pose right. slap on some super glue to strengthen the wire and completely forget to film the rest. Professionalism! After getting bored and distracted, I switched to the base, starting with these weird little egg spiral rock thingamajigs. I cover spiral pattern first as a guide and then wrap it in a clay worm. Honestly, they kinda remind me of that Shellis on Slow King's head. Silicone shapers, fingers, and a little isopropyl alcohol will smooth things out. Then I can bake, harden, and you guessed it, more sanding, which I did off camera. You're welcome. Oh god, this part. You're watching this at 10 times speed. In real life, it took me 2 weeks. By the end, I just wanted everyone to leave me alone. Yes, you can groan. No, I won't stop. Puns are a staple of this channel. I made the leaf cutters by mangling a circle cutter with pliers. Surprisingly effective. Only needed 2 leaf sizes to make it look realistic, thanks to the way the leaves overlap later on. Woo! Efficiency! Yeah! Once I assembled my leaf army, I grouped them into little bunches of 2 to 6 leaves, each bunch having slight variation. It's super fiddly, but worth every second. Layering each bunch towards the top of the bush in these beautiful semi-realistic pieces looks even better after it's painted. After days of leaf making, the base still looked kinda naked. I checked pictures of Green Path, which is where you first fight Hornet in Hollow Knight, and even the stones have vegetation on them, so I added my own. I used cosclay oven adhesive to glue clay to clay, adding noodle thin rolled out clay to make vines crawling all over the rocks. Originally, I planned for Hornet to stand on a rock, but then I thought, nah, dead enemy, way cooler. Plus, it gives me an excuse to throw some bright colors into the scene for contrast. Marking out the hands and eye placement first helps with symmetry. I learnt this the hard way. Then I can finally use some scrunched up foil to add some rocky texture to the base, and it's ready for paint! So, I may have forgotten to record most of the painting, which is typical. But I did capture some super satisfying airbrushing footage. I use the airbrush to lay down the base layers, and that way I can do some dry brushing for highlights. Once I convinced the paint to actually leave the bottle. Then some silver for the sword, black for the body, and boom! Hornet's done! Thank you everyone for watching. I know my videos do tend to take ages, but I do have more coming. So smash that subscribe button, leave a like, drop a comment if you want. I'm still small enough to read and reply to pretty much everything, which I both love and fear. See you next time!